In October 2006, 8-year-old Corey Kelly vanished while hunting in Minnesota's vast Beltrami forest. He was last seen chasing a grouse with his friend's dog before disappearing into the swampy wilderness. Despite a massive search, only scattered belongings were recovered. His hat, bullets, lighter, and strange barefoot tracks leading into the marsh. Months later, in April 2007, search teams finally found his remains. Corey's body was torn in half, his legs submerged in water while the upper torso was missing. Strangely, his rifle and shoes were never recovered. Later, his camera surfaced miles away, filled with unsettling images: dense woods, nests, huge human-like footprints, and what appeared to be a cave. Authorities blamed hypothermia and scavengers, but many questioned how his body was so violently separated. But locals talked about the skunk ape, a swamp-dwelling cousin of Bigfoot known for its foul stench and terrifying size. Hunters now say Beltrami Forest feels empty, as if both animals and people know something else is in control. In July 2015, British biologist Stephen Carr vanished while searching for rare plants in Brazil's Amazon rainforest. His abandoned backpack was soon discovered near a riverbank, containing his camera, phone, and plant samples, but no sign of him. Days of searching yielded nothing. A year later, a tourist stumbled upon human bones in the same region. Excavation revealed a nearly complete skeleton later confirmed to be Carr's. Disturbingly, his skull was missing, and his body had been deliberately buried. This raised questions. Who buried him, and why? Local stories pointed towards something stranger than foul play. Indigenous tribes spoke of the Mapinguari, a towering red-haired beast said to stalk the Amazon, foul-smelling and violent. Witnesses described it walking upright, resembling legends of Bigfoot. Some even linked it to attacks on livestock and eerie calls echoing through the jungle. Stephen's disappearance and grim discovery remain unsolved, but many believe the Amazon's red giant could be South America's version of Bigfoot, still hiding in the rainforest depths. And what about you? In the frozen woods of Noble County, Ohio, silence ruled the landscape, broken only by the crunch of snow underfoot. A lone man moved carefully through the forest, his breath clouding the frigid air. Then, in the distance, something caught his eye. A towering, dark figure half hidden among the trees. What happened next was unsettling. A tree began to shake violently, as if gripped by enormous hands. The cracking of wood echoed through the forest, so loud it carried in the still winter air. The man raised his camera, zooming in, and the shadowy figure seemed to wrestle with the trunk, forcing it down with sheer strength. The strange scene grew even more eerie when deep, guttural vocalizations rolled through the forest, followed by a series of sharp tree knocks. It was no ordinary animal. For many, this kind of behavior, tree shaking, wood knocking, and unearthly calls, is considered a hallmark of Bigfoot.
Holy crap. There they are. We gotta get closer.
In June 2001, Jim Mills, leader of the youth group Campus Life, captured what is considered the longest known footage of Bigfoot during their annual Marble Mountains backpacking trip. The video begins with the group stumbling upon an unusual sight deep in the forest: piles of leaves, branches, and logs stacked in a way that seemed deliberate. Some trees showed claw-like marks, while broken branches suggested immense strength, unlike human tools. As they explored further, they noticed smoothed-out areas that looked like makeshift bedding. Then, the camera caught a large, dark figure moving along the ridge. It appeared upright, taller than a man, with long arms hanging below its knees. At one point, it seemed to shake its arms and pace back and forth, almost as if it was agitated by the group's presence. Though the figure eventually disappeared into the trees, the strange camp-like setting and the creature's movements gave the youth group an unforgettable encounter, one that remains tied to the Bigfoot legend.
Uh-oh! I'll get back to camp.
We see something moving on the hill above.
Run!
Is that really something?
Where?
Where is it? Is it like where
It
are those
stopped.
trees, like right on the other on the
Yeah.
right side of it?
No,
Wanna go?
it stopped and looking
Where?
at us.
It's kind of looking at us.
I don't see it.
Moving
The
now.
tree is. It's to the right of him. It's walking that way.
What tree?
Trees.
You see-
Okay. See the King's Castle?
Is that
Look on the
kind
hill.
of little skinny thing?
The whole thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the right side of the tree.
kind of
Yeah, it's
small,
moving.
but this is a far way away.
I don't see nothing. Seriously.
On the ridge.
On the way.
Right on the ridge.
Almost to those trees.
He's coming down this way. See the patch of snow in the middle there? There's 3 patches of snow up there. See the one right up, straight up above the patch of snow?
Right under that big wall.
There could
Yeah.
be something that's
The bigger patch of the 3 patches of
you
snow.
know,
Over here?
something
Yeah.
that's evaded.
What about it?
He's walking up right on the ledge. See, he's just there. Did you see him moving? He's almost to the tree. There's those 2 trees. Or 3 of it might be 3 trees.
He's
Just
in the
walked into
trees.
the 3
Back in 2015, a drilling crew in Alberta, Canada, captured something strange on video. At the edge of the forest, a dark figure hurled a tree across the clearing. At first glance, it looked like an ordinary toss, but the details made it unsettling. When the footage was studied, the tree was estimated to be around 12 feet long and roughly 50 pounds in weight, possibly more if roots or soil were attached. In comparison, trained strongmen in the Highland Games need both arms, a running start, and technique to throw similar weights. Yet this figure, standing still, launched the tree with one arm as if it were nothing more than a softball. Skeptics argue it could have been a lighter object, but the way it hit the ground suggested real weight and solidity. If the estimates are correct, what the crew witnessed wasn't ordinary human strength. Some believe it hints at something more, possibly Bigfoot lurking in those Alberta woods. In October 2013, a hunter named Josh Highcliffe claimed he captured something strange on camera while out in the swamps of Mississippi, about 9 miles west of Tunica. He was hunting hogs, dressed in full camouflage, waiting quietly near a cypress stump when he heard movement behind him. At first, he assumed it was hogs, but what he saw left him frozen. Just 50 yards away, crouched by a dead tree, was a massive black figure. It wasn't shaped like any animal he knew. Broad shoulders, an upright head, and arms that looked almost human. Josh described it as digging into the stump, and though his first instinct was to flee, he managed to pull out his phone and start recording. When the creature stood up, Josh estimated it to be around 7 feet tall. Panic took over, and he ran away from the spot. He later swore it wasn't a bear, and wondered if he had just stumbled upon a skunk ape, which is Mississippi's version of Bigfoot. In April 2009, Gene Hebert captured a series of photographs that many believe show one of the eeriest Bigfoot encounters. While opening her cottage, she noticed a dark, upright figure standing among the trees. It remained motionless for nearly 5 minutes, as if aware of being watched. The first photo shows a blurred outline blending into the branches. The second reveals broad shoulders and thick, dark hair, resembling a towering figure. The third, taken from farther away, confirms its size and posture human-like yet unfamiliar. What makes this encounter disturbing is the stillness. Most animals flee when spotted, but this one stood silently before vanishing without a sound. For many, it matches classic Bigfoot descriptions: watchful, massive, and gone in an instant. The parallel forest in Leon, Oklahoma has a chilling reputation. Perfect rows of cedar trees stretch for miles, creating an unnatural atmosphere that disorients visitors. Locals say the forest bends paths and clouds memory. It recently gained global attention after a 9-second TikTok video surfaced. A hiker filmed a large, dark figure moving between the trees with a steady, human-like stride. Unlike many blurry Bigfoot clips, this one was unusually clear. The figure wasn't hidden, and viewers agreed something was there. Many called it the most convincing Bigfoot footage ever filmed in Oklahoma. In January 2020, the Washington State Department of Transportation, WashDOT, stirred up a storm online after sharing images from their Sherman Pass camera. Viewers spotted a shadowy figure near the trees, tall and oddly shaped, raising speculation of a possible Bigfoot sighting. The post quickly went viral, with thousands sharing the photos and debating whether the figure was truly Sasquatch or just a trick of the eye. The buzz only grew louder the next day when another WashDOT camera, this time near Snoqualmie Pass on I-90, appeared to capture a similar figure crossing the snowy overpass. For many, it felt like Bigfoot was making a tour across Washington's mountain passes. These sightings echoed a familiar pattern, as less than a year earlier, a man near Medical Lake reported finding massive tracks in the snow. What do you think it was? Bigfoot or some pareidolia? A Reddit user from rural Pennsylvania shared a chilling experience while walking through the forest with a friend. What started as an ordinary day suddenly changed when the boys noticed a powerful stench in the air. At first, they assumed it was a dead deer or maybe a skunk, but the situation quickly grew stranger. The user described an unsettling feeling, as if something was watching them. Looking through the trees, he spotted a figure and managed to snap a photo on his phone. The shape appeared ape-like but with a more human frame, crouched low and staring directly at him. Moments later, the figure stood up. Its build was massive, far larger than a person, yet not shaped like any known animal. The user switched to video and caught a brief clip of the figure walking back into the woods. Since then, he has reviewed the footage repeatedly, unsure what he witnessed: bear, person, or perhaps Sasquatch. It was supposed to be a calm 4th of July hike, the kind where the forest feels endless and quiet, but it quickly turned into something unforgettable. While moving through the thick woods, a hiker noticed movement ahead. Something large and dark crossing through the trees. The figure wasn't just a shadow. It was massive, far bigger than a person, and it paused briefly near a rock. From a distance, it looked like it picked up something small, almost like it was carrying a child. The hiker managed to zoom in, catching a clearer glimpse before the figure disappeared into the wilderness. The footage showed what many believe could only be Bigfoot, possibly even carrying its young. Look closely. Do you also think so? What began as a quiet fishing trip became a disturbing encounter. A fisherman near the shoreline saw movement in the brush, and a massive upright figure emerged. The figure quickly dropped to all fours and retreated toward the trees. Before vanishing, it turned back and locked eyes with him, leaving the fisherman shaken. The sighting echoes long-standing Bigfoot reports, describing a towering creature able to move on 2 legs or 4. It remains another strange moment linked to the Bigfoot legend.
Holy shit, what's that? Oh my gosh.
In Central Oregon, a group of friends found themselves facing something they still struggle to explain. What began as an ordinary camping trip quickly turned into a night of unease. While recording their outing, one of them noticed a strange figure moving across a field. At first, they thought it might be a prank, but that assumption faded the moment the creature reacted to their presence. It turned toward them and began to move closer. The atmosphere shifted from curiosity to pure fear. For a few tense moments, the group stood frozen, listening to its heavy movements and uncertain of what it intended. Just as quickly, the figure turned and walked away, vanishing into the trees. The friends were left shaken, their minds racing with questions. The way the creature moved, its awareness of them, and the sheer size of its silhouette sparked one haunting thought. Cold. They have just crossed paths with Bigfoot?
It's a person.
In the forests of Oregon, a Bernese mountain dog went hiking with its owner, carrying a GoPro strapped to its harness. As the dog bounded down the trail, the shaky footage captured something strange. Just ahead on the path, a tall, shadowy figure appeared. It stood upright and moved on 2 legs, much larger than any ordinary person. The presence seemed out of place, almost unnatural against the quiet backdrop of the woods. The dog kept running, and the figure noticed. In an instant, it turned and sprinted into the trees. Its speed was surprising, vanishing deeper into the forest before the camera could capture more. The encounter lasted only a few seconds, but the image was unmistakable. Was this just another hiker in the wrong place? Or could it have been something far more mysterious? Perhaps even Bigfoot itself? The Arizona Department of Transportation once captured a strange sight on one of its highway traffic cameras. In the middle of a snowy stretch, a group of dark, human-like figures appeared, clustered together in the distance. When the agency shared the photo on Facebook, it quickly stirred curiosity. Some people joked about it, while others genuinely wondered if this could be the long-debated evidence of Bigfoot, not just a lone figure, but an entire family. The photo was grainy, leaving enough ambiguity for speculation to run wild. Were these just travelers caught in bad lighting, or something more mysterious? The post spread rapidly, collecting thousands of likes, shares, and comments. Theories ranged from practical explanations to playful belief in the legendary creature. To this day, no one can say for certain what the camera really caught. But for many, it remains one of the most intriguing moments linking Arizona's quiet highways to the legend of Bigfoot. A group of hunters from California was driving along a lonely forest road, far from the nearest city, when they spotted movement among the trees. At first, they assumed it was a bear and aimed their camera toward the shadowy figure, but what appeared in the frame was nothing like a bear. A tall, hairy figure emerged, striding forward with surprising confidence. Its heavy steps and wide shoulders gave it an imposing presence, unlike any ordinary animal. The way it walked carried a sense of power, as though it belonged in that wilderness. The creature moved with focus, as if heading towards something important, paying no attention to the hunters or their camera. The description matches the classic image of Bigfoot. Broad, muscular, and mysterious. This sighting adds yet another thread to the long list of encounters fueling speculation about whether such a creature truly roams the forests of North America. YouTuber Mo Sargi and his friends Chris and Angelo went on an overnight camping trip in a forest known for Bigfoot sightings. As night fell, the calm of the woods was broken by sudden heavy crashes, as if something massive was moving nearby. The group felt an unsettling presence, almost as if they were being pushed out of the area. Determined to find the source, they used night vision and infrared gear to scan the forest. Strange moans echoed through the trees, and movement was spotted along the waterline. Then, through binoculars, they saw what appeared to be a towering, ape-like figure walking upright. A deep growl followed, confirming that whatever was there was far from ordinary. Their trip, meant to document the mystery, turned into a chilling encounter that left them shaken. For many, this footage adds weight to the belief that Bigfoot still roams the dark, uncharted corners of the wilderness. In 2016, a group of friends headed into the Florida swamps on ATVs, chasing the thrill of their usual outdoor adventure. They stopped to take photos, unaware that one image would capture something deeply unsettling. In the background of the first picture, a shadowy figure appeared among the dense foliage. Its form looked bulky, hunched, and oddly human-like, half hidden behind the tall grass and shrubs. The image was blurry, which often happens in such remote, low-visibility environments. Still, the outline suggested more than just a trick of light. A closer zoom revealed what seemed like a tall, broad-shouldered figure standing upright, its posture resembling that of a bipedal creature. The ATV in the foreground gave scale, making the figure's presence harder to dismiss as coincidence. The Florida swamps, vast and isolated, are an ideal hiding ground for a creature like Bigfoot. It's possible the noise of the ATVs disturbed something that preferred to stay unseen, forcing it to emerge just long enough to be caught on camera. Hikers deep in the forest have stumbled upon something unsettling, piles of bones scattered across the ground, almost like a graveyard without graves. Skulls, jaws, and vertebrae are stacked in strange patterns, as if arranged rather than left to rot naturally. Among them are deer, cats, even dogs, their remains collected in a way that feels deliberate. Theories spread quickly. Some point to predators, coyotes, or mountain lions, dragging their kills to one spot. And that's where the Bigfoot connection surfaces. Believers suggest these piles could be a stockpile, evidence of a creature not only hunting but hoarding. Skeptics dismiss the idea, suggesting roadkill dumps or illegal poaching. But the sheer number of skulls, the eerie organization, and the way they sit together leave many uneasy. For those who lean toward the Bigfoot theory, it feels less like coincidence and more like a chilling clue that something unknown is watching from the trees. In May 2011, a YouTube user named Patua76 uploaded footage that quickly caught the attention of cryptid enthusiasts. The video showed what appeared to be a Sasquatch moving through thick foliage near Ketchikan, Alaska. The man behind the camera managed to track the figure steadily, capturing a surprisingly clear view of it. At one point, the creature's dark face was briefly visible, peering through the vegetation before disappearing again. The cameraman, clearly shaken, eventually fled in fear. The clip stood out because it lacked the polished editing or dramatic backstory often found in hoaxes. Instead, it was raw, shaky, and unrefined, which only added to its authenticity in the eyes of believers. The Bigfoot Field Researchers Organization even noted it as one of the first major encounters reported in the Ketchikan area, a location surrounded by dense, nearly impassable forest. With its remote setting and the figure's imposing proportions, many still regard the footage as some of the most convincing Bigfoot evidence to emerge from Alaska. In early 2015, a teenager from Turner, Maine, captured a short video that quickly drew attention from Bigfoot enthusiasts. The clip, lasting just over 2 minutes, shows a dark, bulky figure moving upright through the trees against the snowy ground. The teenager and a friend had been outside when they noticed something unusual in the woods. Curious, they set up a camera to record the area. For nearly 2 minutes, the frame stayed still in the forest before the mysterious figure appeared, slipping between the trees and partially hidden by branches. When the footage spread online, Maine-based Bigfoot researcher Bill Brock visited the site. He examined footprints in the snow that measured about 15 inches long, far larger than an average human's. While he couldn't prove or disprove the sighting, he believed it deserved serious attention. Skeptics suggested it might be a person in costume or a visual trick. Still, no hoax was ever confirmed, leaving the video one of Maine's most talked about Bigfoot encounters. While vacationing with his parents in the Appalachian Mountains, a young boy wandered along a quiet trail when he heard strange, heavy noises in the woods. Curious but uneasy, he followed the sounds until his camera caught a shadowy figure crossing the road on 2 legs. The footage was shaky, but the outline was clear enough to spark fear, sending the boy running. Later, when the video was reviewed, a street lamp in the background became the key detail. The lamp stood at nearly 8 feet, and the figure appeared just as tall when it passed by. For many, this suggested it wasn't an ordinary person, but something far larger. The sighting remains one of the more curious claims linked to Bigfoot.
Now, I've been walking in the woods. I'm hearing really loud and weird noises. I feel like it could be Bigfoot. I am on the Appalachian Trail right now. I don't know what it is. I'm trying to get evidence of this. I'm gonna ease into that barn house up there. I was hearing the noises up there. I feel like
In 2016, a man named Jeremy reported an unusual sighting on Brockbridge Road near a suburban airport. While driving, he noticed a figure standing by a stream in the woods. He claimed to have watched and photographed it for nearly 10 minutes. The figure remained upright the entire time, never moving on all fours. Its posture and the way it seemed to merge with the underbrush matched long-standing descriptions of Bigfoot's behavior. Jeremy's photos quickly joined a growing collection of blurry sightings and strange encounters linked to the creature. Supporters viewed it as more evidence of Bigfoot's ability to stay hidden in plain sight, while skeptics dismissed it as another case of mistaken identity. Still, the Brockbridge account remains one of the many reports that keep the Bigfoot mystery alive. What's your view about this one? On the 14th of January, 2025, TikTok user Sunshineable filmed herself walking in the woods when something unusual appeared. Behind the trees, a dark, fur-covered figure leaned forward as if watching her. The moment it noticed the camera, it slipped back into the forest. Startled, she ended the recording and left the area. Viewers described the figure as covered in black fur and not very tall, leading some to suggest it might be a juvenile Sasquatch. Others argued it could have been someone in a costume. What makes the clip stand out is that Sunshineable has never posted staged content before. Shared just days before the TikTok ban, the video gained attention as one of her final uploads. So, what do you think about it? Hoax or real?
Oh, God.
gosh, it's cold. The camera stand won't stay. Nope, 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 nope.
Back in November 2014, a short video from a rural corner of Muscatine County, Iowa, suddenly caught the internet's attention. The clip, said to have been filmed near the small town of Stockton, came from a trail camera set up beside a quiet pond. Its original purpose was simple. Ca Peter local wildlife, but what it recorded that day was anything but ordinary. The footage showed what looked like a small upright figure standing beneath a tree. Though blurry and brief, it was strange enough to spark debate. The video began circulating on Facebook, YouTube, and local forums, quickly becoming one of the most talked about Bigfoot sightings in Iowa. What made it intriguing was the rarity. This state doesn't have many viral Bigfoot reports, so the clip stood out. Still, no additional evidence ever surfaced. No tracks, no clearer footage, nothing to back it up. Yet even today, when Iowa sightings are mentioned, that odd little video from Stockton often comes up. Deep in the woods, a couple stumbled upon something that made no sense. Standing upright in the middle of a dirt road was a massive tree trunk, wedged so securely into the ground that it didn't look like an accident. They had driven this path before, and nothing like this had ever been there. The trunk wasn't just resting on the surface. It was solid enough for the husband to climb, which only added to the unease. Around it, the road was nothing but gravel and hard-packed dirt, with no other debris nearby. A clip from Mike Rugg of the Bigfoot Discovery Project shows what he describes as an ambush blind. It's a rough structure made of sticks. Not really a shelter, but something that looks like a place where something might crouch and wait for prey. Mike and his colleague Greg had visited the site one morning while researching the area. Greg carried a digital camera and snapped a shot of the strange stick house. When he looked at the photo, he noticed something unusual. A white mist floating across the frame. He immediately took another picture, but this time the mist was gone. They checked the surroundings, but nothing explained the phenomenon. Their breath wasn't visible in the cold air, and there was nothing nearby to create the strange effect. The image, almost cloud-like, gave the eerie impression of faces hidden within it. To this day, the photo remains unsettling, leaving questions no one has been able to answer. In April 2022, strange photos from Wilmer, Alabama showed a large, dark figure moving through the woods in Mobile County. The images spread quickly on Facebook and Reddit, sparking speculation. Some claim the sheriff's office had confirmed them, while others believe the television show Finding Bigfoot was preparing to investigate. The photos went viral, but the buzz ended when they were traced back to Kenny Walker, who admitted they were part of an April Fool's prank. Still, some argued the figure looked too convincing. Do you think so? Or do you think it was nothing but a hoax? We'd love to know your opinion in the comment box below. Outro. And for now, this video is over, but the goosebumps are not. Just dive into this next video if you want more.